Good morning, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. Today is day 2 of 6 on the Green River adventure here in Utah. Had a pretty good night's sleep last night, and sun's getting ready to come up, and it's a beautiful day so far. You can see the sun is just starting to hit the upper rocks here. It's such a beautiful color and tone. It's almost mind-blowing, but it's awesome. I'm loving every moment of it. What a great, beautiful way to start the day. So there you go. Camp number 1 served us well. All right, it's a little chilly this morning, but other than that, absolutely great. Loving it. Really quick talk about bathroom duties out here. I hate to bring that up, but there's probably going to be some folks that are curious about what you do when you're out here, and it's not as simple as just digging a hole and going to the bathroom. There's a lot of legal things you got to deal with out here, and one of them is you don't pee on the ground, because it will become one big litter box out here very quickly when there's so many people going down the river all the time. So the law is, here in Utah, you pee in the river, and the river dilutes it and returns it to the earth. But if you got to go number 2, it's another story altogether. Allow me to show you what I'm talking about. I know you're thinking going to the restroom when you're outdoors is probably a spiritual thing, and it is a little bit, but mostly it's just a thing you have to do. And right here is one of the things I'm going to have to do in a couple minutes. They call this the groover, and it is the toilet for going number 2. It's a chemical toilet. You're not allowed to go number 2 out here. You can't just dig a hole and go. It has to go in here. No one's used it yet on the trip, so I'm going to be the first one. But I will say this is going to be my view for taking care of the bathroom duties, and it's not a bad view. All right, first time on the trip having to do that, and it's done. It's over with. Now the day can begin. Boy, I feel a lot better. What a beautiful campsite that we were fortunate enough to find. It was a nice, cozy spot for a night of sleep, and a very peaceful experience. But it was time to move on, and we started packing up our gear. We were about to say goodbye to this amazing campsite and head downriver for another day of adventures and fun in one of the most beautiful places I'd ever seen. I felt an almost overwhelming feeling of peace and tranquility. All right, the site looks a lot emptier without tents in it, but nonetheless beautiful. It's morning. Everybody is pretty much packed except for me, because I'm always filming, but we'll be done here in a couple minutes. There's Daniel smiling nicely, thank you. So we're gonna get all this stuff and all that stuff into here, so stay tuned. We loaded up the canoe through the magic of time-lapse. It took us a few minutes to figure it out, but eventually we got it and packed the canoe nicely. A short time later, we were ready to head down the river. All right, we're fully loaded and ready to go. What do you think, Danielson? All right, we're heading that direction. Wish us luck. Here we go. Yep. All right, folks, we are in the early morning part of the paddle. Still a little chilly here. We found out in the shade in the morning, but it feels nice. It's like super air conditioning. Daniel was just pointing out, look at that view ahead of us, and I'm blown away by the reflection of the rocks in the water, because it reminds me of a Bob Ross kind of painting. It's just so outstanding. If I could paint, I would paint stuff like this. My neck is getting sore from looking up at all the beauty all the time. I know, it's some unusual rock formations for sure. To the left, to the left. Oh, really beautiful. Look at that. I mean, it's like a Bob Ross painting. I keep saying that over and over again, but it's just amazing. Bob Ross probably didn't really do a lot of Southwestern things like this, but it reminds me because he painted a lot of water features. But yeah, it's just, it's awesome. All right, Daniel, I was talking about a thing called a blind arch. To the right up here, you can see when it's starting to form, where that all the light color rock is up there. See how it's falling apart, and there's like starting to be an arch above it and around it. So maybe a few centuries or thousands of years from now, that might be a hole through there, and you could see to the other side. But Matt told me those are called a blind arch, and I just thought that was kind of neat. All right, there's Southwest Backpacker and Terry. Thank you everybody for having us on this wonderful trip with you. It's freaking awesome. All right, I'll get some nice pictures to you later.
Oh, dude, I'm
I told you it looks like crocodile Dundee.
They might be.
All right, folks, as we're heading down the river here more, it's just amazing, all the beauty and the splendor and the different rock formations. It's just different than anything I've ever experienced before. And it's also very beautiful. And the skies are brilliant. Look at that.
Makes your life look so small. It makes you feel so small.
I agree. I feel kind of insignificant right now too in these surroundings. The style of YouTube videos that I do are meant to be reality based, kind of in the moment, no second takes kind of thing. Although every once in a while we'll do a second take to get a hiking segment or like a drone shot of us doing something. But most of the time it's what you're seeing on my YouTube channel is what's actually happening at that moment. It's not a reenactment, it's not acting. We're just being and experiencing. That's why it's called James Blackburn Experience. I got some friends that I made through YouTube that I know him now, but kind of like Southwest Backpacker Matt, I met him because of YouTube. All right, we made it to camp number 2. Here's the last of our party. You guys come on up, I'll help you if you want to throw me the rope. I'll get rid of the camera here in just a second. But yeah, here we are. Boats are parked. We'll go up there in just a minute to see what's going on. So the whole group pitched in and got all the gear up here to our base camp. All right, there it is. It has begun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. All right, folks, we are at camp for the day. Day number 2. You can see a beautiful spot here. All 4 boats tied off. Whew, a little out of breath because we've been moving a lot of gear. But it's so beautiful here. And then the entrance is right here. So we're going to go up and show you what it looks like to see this camp. One really cool thing about it is that it's the first time any of us have camped here. It's a new discovery for the entire trip of 8. So it's gonna be awesome. It's so fascinating and beautiful, and nice little trail going back through here. Truly feel great about this camp spot. You can see Daniel's over there already getting set up in the shade. He's got a good spot. There's our view. You just can't get better than that. There's Terry. He is prepping the water with a thing called aluminum sulfate, I believe. Is that the name of it? Alum for short?
Alum. No, it is alum.
So
Yep.
what that does is it's something you put in the water and it pulls all the particles to the bottom, so the water's a lot more easy to filter. Cool little shortcut when you have silty water like this. But thanks once again, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Appreciate it.
Hope you're having fun.
It's a blast. So back here you can see we got more base camp going on, and we got our kitchen area will be over here. It's just outstandingly beautiful. Terry's gonna buy this piece of real estate and camp out there for the night. And then back over here is Matt, the Southwest backpacker, with his classic hammock setup. There it is.
Set up nice and comfortable out here in the bottom of the Green River and underneath these old oak trees. This is an awesome spot, and glad I brought the hammock. I thought if we run into a spot like this, this is a perfect place to set it up, and so I'm glad I did.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Check out this awesome setup he's got. All right, so what do you say now we go back over to where I'm camping and I show you where my tent's gonna go. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
All right. Behind our camp is this, also very beautiful. I mean, it's a 360-degree view. It's better than virtual reality because it's reality. All right, so my brother Daniel and I are back here. We got this cool little shaded tree area. This is kind of the entrance. And look at that, he's almost set up already. My tent will go back here in the shade, and maybe a little bit later, a little nap in the shade here. Here's all the gear that we brought. Well, mostly I brought. He had everything in one backpack, believe it or not, and I have 6 bags of other stuff. But anyway, let's get off here and get set up. But meanwhile, when we wake up in the morning, that's gonna be one of the first things we see. Can't go wrong. All right, so we've been here relaxing and getting camp set up. As you can see, it's all taken care of. Very beautiful. We claimed this little beautiful spot of real estate right under this trees here, so we're in the shade. And what do you think, brother?
It's awesome, man.
It's gonna be cool, huh?
Very cool.
All right, so we are gonna go on a hike now with Matt, the Southwest backpacker, who also happens to have a drone with him.
I've got a drone.
So we might get some shots from the sky for you guys, so stay tuned because we're gonna go hiking back into here, and who knows what we're gonna see.
We're gonna try to get up there to the top, and if we get to the top, we'll see if we can launch the drone and harass these guys here back at camp from way up there.
You know, I guess I can agree with what he said, because there is some truth to it.
Absolutely right. And then chuck it over to the right. Yep.
All right. Matt, you know what I'm going to say next, right? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
That's right.
We start all my hikes that way. I say that same thing. But what I mean is, I'm not scared of the 1,000 miles. I look forward to it.
I do too. I totally look forward to it.
So we're journey of 1,000 miles and we're 10 steps into it. Can't wait to see what else is next.
The road I like to take is the road less taken.
There you go.
Yep.
That is true. Southwest backpacker speaks knowledge.
Right.
He is the wizard of
We got
outdoors.
a little path that goes this way, but we're gonna go this way. Yeah, we're gonna go up that way, I think.
All right, there we go. All right, stay tuned, folks. I'll show you as we go along. We continued hiking through the desert for a while. That is, until we started finding our way up higher with every step. My thoughts were feeling the tranquility of this place, and I felt truly blessed to be able to hike with these fine gentlemen in such a beautiful and rugged environment. The muscles in my legs were feeling the strain of going up, but before I knew it, I was on top of the first small ridge and heading down the trail to meet up with the rest of the hiking team. The landscape was so intense and beautiful that I felt tiny in this universe, but at the same time I felt completely connected to it all. It was as if I could feel the universe flowing in my veins. I was nothing and everything all at once. The beauty was within me. Wow. The sky is intense and beautiful. Look at these crazy guys. They're heading up to this upper ledge here. It's quite a healthy climb there. You got it, Danielson. You're looking good there, man. Nice. Yep, rock climbing skills coming in handy. Yeah, good job. All right, guys. We're going up. I just showed you a video of Matt and my brother Daniel doing this little section. It looked pretty intimidating when I was over there in the trail. It's even more intimidating when you're standing here looking at it. But I think I see a route and I'm gonna do it, and thanks to Matt, the Southwest Backpacker, for capturing it on camera. It's trickier than it looks. But not too bad. Once you get to that part, that was the tricky part there, but okay, maybe I was making a bigger deal out of it than I should have, but we're gonna continue up. Whenever you're ready, Matt. All right.
This is so cool.
The hiking was rugged but rewarding. With every step, we continued closer to our destination. The views everywhere were unbelievable, and it had me starting to wonder, why am I so fortunate to be able to do something so awesome and with my brother Daniel? Well, the answer is simple, really, because we all deserve to live a great life and have wonderful experiences together. We're climbing up this. We're gonna try to summit this bad boy. And then Matt is going to do some drone flying. All right, we're about to summit this bad boy. Yeah, it's a false summit. You're probably right. Oh, yeah, we're not at the top yet. It always does this to me. We realized that we weren't on top yet, so we stopped to take in the view. I had dreamed of seeing the Green River for years, and finally, here I was. It was better than I imagined. Plus, I got to experience all this with my brother Daniel and my great friend Matt, the Southwest Backpacker. What a great day. So up here on top, this is what we're surrounded by. I'm blown away by it. Look at that. There's even like a little hole through the rock up there, right there see the sky through it. Anyway, we're looking for a spot to take a break in the shade, have some drinks and some snacks, and a little bit of relaxation time so we don't keep sweating so much. Okay. And the clumsiest. Ooh, that is a nice spot. Sweet! Up into the beautiful overhanging rock area. Plenty of nice shade. Alright. Awesome. Very cool.
Good call.
Really neat. These different rock formations here. Yep, it's like a big arch, kind of. The weather was absolutely perfect as we continued climbing up to the next level. You couldn't ask for a better day or a better hike at this exact moment. I was beginning to feel very philosophical, and I had this thought. We all have bridges to cross and weight to bear. At times it may seem impossible or even dangerous. It's at these times where I feel we live the most. Living life on the edge of impossible is where we feel the most alive. And I was incredibly happy to share this with my hiking partners. All right, we just came up this to reveal what I'm seeing on the other side here. Look at this. Wow. Just amazing. Wow, wow, wow. The landscape seemed so vast and ancient to us. The feeling of being connected with the planet was a beautiful thing. I was out of breath but full of life. I felt at one with nature, at one with the vast desert and canyon lands. I felt at one with the earth and the universe. I knew I'd felt like this before, but it had been a while, and I was glad to be back where I belonged, the wilderness. So camp is down there where you see the trails. We hiked all the way to the top of this thing. I'll show you a shot of it from the bottom here right now, just so you guys can get an idea of where we're at. Maybe I'll put an arrow on it to point to where we're at right now, but beautiful. There's enough space to crawl underneath there if you had for an emergency. That would be awesome. All right, here I come to save the day. We continued on further up the rocky terrain. Almost to the top. This is so awesome. What a beautiful place. Look at all this. We finally made it to the top and wandered around the beautiful desert landscape. The views in all directions were amazing. I mean, how could I not be blown away? Well, to be honest, I was blown away and was feeling the energy of the area flowing like an electrical current throughout my wild spirit. We all felt connected to this untamed desert landscape. It was a part of us now. All right. This may look a little silly, but it's keeping the sun off my ears and back of my neck, so it's working. Anyway, we summited the area that we're at. We're probably in pretty much the highest spot, or pretty close to it, and we are going to do some dronification now. Matt's getting set up and ready to go. So there's the drone. There's the pilot.
We're gonna give it our best shot. Let's see what happens.
All right, rock and roll.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what it looks like. He's gonna film out here, kind of pointed at us, and then back away, and we're gonna get to see everything that's back here behind us and see how small we look in all of this world out here. All right, so I know I promised you guys some drone shots. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. It's flashing green on the back, but that's it. It doesn't seem like it wants to calibrate to fly out here, so we are not going to have drone shots today. We'll try again at the next camp and see what happens, but you still can't complain. This view is amazing even without a drone. You can't go wrong. Right, brother?
Yes.
He is yesing me,
Yes.
so let's fade to black.
Purple Martians.
We did make it up to the top. We're hanging out up here. No drone, unfortunately, but you can't beat this view. It's absolutely outstanding. And now we're gonna hike back down and see if we can get back down to camp.
Back down to camp.
Here we go. Okay, so after our adventure on the top, we are heading back down to camp. Trying to find a route down this. It almost looks impossible because there's a lot of steep, crazy stuff, but you hike around, you find a nice non-steep area, and you just kind of climb down it. I'm loving it.
All right, folks. Some of you know who watched my videos. Last year I had an incident in the Gila Wilderness where I almost didn't make it out alive. And one of the things I had to do to survive was climb down something like this backwards to get to the water. And for some odd reason up here on top, it just got me a little bit. Something came back from last year and it got me. So I'm going to try to climb this and stay calm and not let it get me, because when I was young, I would have climbed this with no thought whatsoever. I would have done it. But Matt's going to film and I'm going to head on down now. So here we go. Nice thing about this rock is it's very grippy for your hands and your feet. And then Matt and my brother point out this big step here, which is beautiful. That was a little bit of a struggle, but
we can all continue the adventure.
all right, yeah. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks, brother. All right, so we just came all down that somehow. And then I came across this spot right here where there's two different kinds of rock. Kind of looks like the moon or Mars or something. Look at all this. Just weird rock here that's different than the rest of the rock that's around it. I'm on another planet.
We found a well-traveled trail and decided to follow it for a while, which was nice because the trail took us lower down the canyon, but a lot more gradually.
Okay, we made it down this thing. Climbed to the top and climbed all the way back to the bottom. I'm a little beat, but wow, what an experience.
We arrived back at the bottom near our camp as the sun was getting lower in the sky. Sunset was not too far away, and it was nice to be off the canyon walls with the light on our side. I looked back and decided I needed some photographs of the Red Rock Canyon wall that we just hiked up and back down. What a wonderful experience and fun adventure. So glad I made it to the Green River Canyonlands area and was standing here being a part of it all.
All right, sun is starting to set on the rocks there. Wanted to show you the beautiful view around here and where my brother Daniel and I put our tents at. We found this nice little tree cove right here. It's been in the shade since we got here, and now that the sun's setting, it's really in the shade. But what a nice spot.
After that great hike, Terry and Matt went over the map book to determine how many river miles we did that day. Turns out it was around 11 miles of paddling down the beautiful Green River in Utah. The map book was great and very helpful. Matt explains a little further.
We passed June's Bottom. That's where we camped last night. Somewhere in June's Bottom, maybe even on that sandbar. And then I think you're probably either in here or maybe right in here.
All right, folks, you heard it here first. Camping is going to be awesome. All right, guys, after our epic hike of the day, climbing up to the top of that thing, we're back at camp. And we're getting a nice fire going. Matt got it really fed here, so it's going to go for a while. It's nice and warm. I think I'll get some slow motion footage of this.
The campfire was warm and nice. Several of us gathered and enjoyed it together. The moon was starting to rise above the canyon walls as the sun continued to set. The evening came on slowly, and after a good dinner, I noticed that two of our party were standing on top of the canyon wall that we had just done a couple hours earlier. And then we had an amazing sunset, and I felt once again connected to the universe in a really good way. The scenery was beautiful and vast, and it had me wishing to never leave. What a great day.
Oh yeah, it looks like a Muse concert.
Does it?
Oh man, that's trippy. That is awesome. Very cool, man.
That was incredible.
Fun
stuff.
Several folks decided to stay and enjoy the campfire, but I decided to retire and get some shut-eye back at the tent. Day 2 did not disappoint. As I went into my tent for some sleep, I was excited to see what tomorrow would bring. Love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other. See you tomorrow.
Purple Martians.